How is everybody? I wasn't quite ready. Give me a second. Give me a second. Had some technical difficulties. Had some technical difficulties, and I was trying to get them straight. Looks like I have a latency issue also, but hopefully I'll take care of that in a minute. Anyway, my name is Antonio Alacena, and I am your host, Masculine Militia podcast. On the podcast today, we're going to have, I'm going to be talking about, hold on just a second, please. Hold on just a second. Okay. All right. I'm going to be talking about, Tichina Arnold and her tweet that she tweeted as it was concerning the emasculation of black men. But first, before I go into that, I want to say some other things to kind of lead up to it. So hopefully, we'll be able to get off right here. So I apologize for the technical difficulties. I misunderstood something earlier, and so now I'm getting to it. Anyway, first I want to say this, that what I'm about to say will not apply to all black women. It will not apply to all black women. However, it's enough black women that think and behave in the manner that I'm about to talk about to affect the general cultural mindset of most black women. I don't know if it's most, but many. Those who have a loud enough platform to speak about black female-male relationships. All right. And it's not just black male-female relationships, because that's not the only thing that I'm talking about tonight. It's also the, let me continue. Like I said, it doesn't apply to all black women, of course. You know what I'm saying? But it's like when we see black women, I'm sorry, not black women, when we see the police, and the police who are the bad police, or the ones that's doing all the bad stuff, and then we'll always ask and want to know where the good cops at. Where are the good cops? Where are the good cops? You know what I'm saying? Because the good cops don't seem to say anything when the bad cops do the bad stuff, right? So we ask where the good cops at. And it's the same thing when it comes to black women. And I'm going somewhere with this, so just kind of be cool. Be cool. But you have black women today, it seems as if the behavior, like I'm talking about black women right now, right in this moment. And what seems to happen is, as soon as a man starts to say something about black women that is not praise, then they have a problem with that. Black women seem to have a problem with if a person, a black man in particularly, is saying something about black women that is in any way critical of any behavior that black women have, it seems that many black women, even black women who know that there's a problem with the accountability side of black women, they even feel some kind of way a lot of times. So for black men, it gets to a point where we can't say anything. Don't say anything to black women about nothing. Can't say anything about her behavior. Just like when you talk about the bad cops. The good cops, we say there must not be any. Because when the bad cops do what bad cops do, we don't see the good cops doing anything measurably to offset that. So when I say black women, of course I don't mean every black woman, but like bad cops or like the good cops. The good cops or the black women who are not like this, what I'm about to say, I haven't gotten to it yet. And there's a reason I'm talking about it in the way that I am. But a lot of black women don't want to hear anything remotely critical of black women. You either look over it or you make excuses for it or you justify whatever the behavior that is being pointed out that isn't good. So, it seems that black women can never be accountable for anything. Because there's this thing that it seems black women are using to nullify anything a black man will have to say about black women. You know, when a black man in particularly, because it's usually, us, when we have something to say to cause black women to have some accountability for some behavior, it's like I said, it's either looked over, it's either excused, or some justification is given, or you turn the tables on us. Not an accountability, not self-examination, but just turn the tables on you. Well, you know what? You just hate black women. We tired of black women talking about black women. Leave black women alone. Blase, 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 blase. It's never an examination of your behavior. It's whatever behavior I give you, that's what you get. No matter if it's if you think is wrong or whatever, it's right to us. I don't care what it is. That's what it seems to be. And that's kind of like what a lot of times I've heard women called narcissists do. That's what they say. I've heard it said. No accountability. It's all your fault. I don't give a damn what is. It ain't me, it's you. No matter how bad the behavior is. So when a black man says something, we hate black women. It's like the motivation for our trying to hold you accountable for anything is that we hate you. God, really? Then you want to use the black man's behavior. Well, black men, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's another subject. We talking about you now. Can we stay on you? This is what I'm talking about. because you make everything that you do okay. Black women make everything they do okay. It's all right. No self-reflection, no self-examination. Anything that will confirm that your behavior, what you say, is okay, that's where you go. And this happens with the assistance of the two greatest allies that black women have. Because most black women who are like this, they have already decided that black men are not their allies. They have decided that black men are not on their side. They have decided that black men don't matter. That's right. They have decided that black men don't matter. And they have some disdain for black men. Yeah. So, the two greatest allies of black women is white supremacy and the LGBT community. They are, that's what I said. Every mechanism in this society is to support black women. Now you'll say, no, because black women, we get treated worse than anybody. Show me the evidence. Does that mean you get treated bad? No, I'm not saying you don't. I'm not saying you don't get treated bad. But it's not a competition. But I'm going to have to bring it up as if it is one. Whose treatment is worse? Is it the black man or the black woman? Who gets treated worse? And who are you being treated bad by? A lot of times, black women now have come to a point where they're looking at black men as if black men not only are the problem, not only are they saying, well, black men are the problem. Because you say we abuse you. You say we don't love you. We haven't protected you. Listen, black men can definitely do better. But see, I'm ready to take accountability for that. I'm ready to take accountability for the black man's shortcomings. See? But now, can you do that, black woman? Can you? Can you do that? Can you take accountability for your shortcomings? This social mechanism celebrates black women. Black women are celebrated. Black men are relegated, denigrated. Are black women denigrated and relegated? I'm talking about as it concerns the two of us. Black women are celebrated. Men are not celebratory. It's not like we're looking to be celebrated. It's not that. Women are celebratory, festive. You look at being celebrated as a sign of affection, admiration even. It's something that you feel makes you valuable or validates you to be celebrated. Because yes, you are celebrated. You're celebrated in society, and even black men celebrate you. Do we have some fools out here who, of course, but for the most part, we are we are almost put in a position to where if we don't celebrate you, then we're put in the category of we hate you. That's how it is. We're either celebrating you, happy for you, showing our love for you, or we hate you. That's what it seems like. That's what it seems like. So you are celebrated. Black men are not celebrated. And I'm going to get to all what I'm saying. Black men, as it relates to black power via black family and black masculine expression, nah, man. No. You can't be a masculine black man today. And black women actually hold the flag of black emasculation. Oh, yeah. Exhibit number 1. Tichina Arnold asked this question. She asked this question. She said, honest question. You can see it. Honest question. What can we as black women in America do to stop aiding in the emasculation of black men in America? Yo, that is a hell of a question. Look at the wording. What can we as black women in America do to stop aiding in the emasculation of black men in America? Oh, man. Listen, do you know who came out against her? You know who came out against her? Black women. Black women and homosexuals. Oh, yeah. They're saying, in fact, we can just see some of the replies that took place. So we have here a young lady saying, define emasculation and give an example, because I can't connect where black women factor into this equation. Can't even see it. And guess what? Many of you can't. Many of you can't. The next one was Antisocial Butterfly was like, I'm truly concerned about this question because it's basically saying that we are responsible. I didn't see that. For black men and their feelings. I'm not sure how that makes a lot of sense to me. I didn't see that in the question. I'm not sure what feelings have to do with it. But she goes on to say, which is giving them more of a reason to put that responsibility on us. Nobody's putting the responsibility on you, black woman. She asks, what can black women do? What can black women in America do to aid, to stop aiding in the emasculation of black men? She didn't say you were responsible. She didn't say you were responsible. She just said, can you, in fact, let's say it again. What can we as black women in America do to stop aiding in the emasculation of black men in America? It's a question. What can you do? At this point, there were 3,207 at this point replies, most of them female, black women. Oh, I looked through it. Yeah, I did. Most of them black women, and they were up in arms. But anyway, let's continue on. The other, I did, well, in fact, to that, she says, a reason to put that responsibility on us, and I ain't responsible for anybody but myself and my children. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? So she ain't responsible for nobody but herself and her children. So what if she has a son and her son is killed unlawfully by the police? Oh, wait a minute. Even before that, she's only responsible for herself. And I know this is a big thing out here now because, you know, black women have been taught basically to just be responsible for themselves in the form of independence. So much so that that independence makes it where you now cannot fully function in a marriage or a relationship. How you gonna be a independent woman and you got a man whose job it is to protect you, provide, and produce for you? If you're independent like that, guess what's gonna happen? You're not gonna be able to accept his protection, his provision, his production. Because in order to do that, you can't be independent. We are supposed to be codependent. That's what we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be codependent. Anyway, so here, okay, my bad. Here is, well, you know, there was a brother here actually in this stream, but look at his words. Look at his words. Ms. Arnold, that is a question that requires a more earnest conversation about the internalized stereotypes, class divisions, and contemporary gender ideas that continue to assert black males are pathological, violent, and prone to deviant behavior. This is the male in this particular thing. Seems to be a straight male, or I don't know, but he at least is an academic according to his title. And he came with a response or a reply that was rational. That's what I said. Because anytime somebody say a woman is in her emotions, she swear that's just some kind of slur. Oh my God. Yeah. Because these women who are responding, and the ones that are responding, the one I'm about to read, and the ones that I saw, most of them, they didn't respond rationally. They responded emotionally. In fact, the next one says, and I circled it, I don't feel I have done or engaged in that behavior. You don't know institutional and systematic behavior and how it even affects you. You know, there are people who can be in a conspiracy and not even know that they're in a conspiracy. This is true. This is true. You can be a part of a conspiracy and go to jail, go to prison as a part of a conspiracy that you didn't even know you were in. That's right. You don't have to know you're a part of a conspiracy. You don't have to know that. Sometimes they call it unwitting conspirator. Unwitting. So just because you don't feel like you've been a part of something doesn't mean that you haven't been recruited to be a part of it. Okay. Back to this young lady. So she don't feel like she don't feel I don't feel I have done or engaged in that behavior. Continue. I'm more concerned about us as black women because we are literally treated worse, she says, than black men. By black men. She has in parentheses, not all, not even the majority. Wait a minute. So who are you talking about and what you talking about? If it's not all, it's not the majority, what you talking about? Your personal feelings? Are you talking about your personal feelings? Everything becomes a personal issue. She says, by black men, not all, not even majority, and other races, meaning black women have been treated by everybody worse than black men have been treated. We're going to get into that. She said, I appreciate the scope of this tweet, but I feel it's tone deaf. Tone deaf. Now, mind you, like I said, this was just a snippet. There were others. And some of them were really going in on her about this question. What can we as black women in America do to stop aiding in the emasculation of black men? That's the question. She phrased it, though, to stop aiding. Because right now, from her perspective and from many others, black women are aiding in the emasculation of black men. There's something about the emasculation of black men that actually makes black women feel safe. Black women feel safe when against black men. If that black man, that's why a lot of black women today have gay friends. A lot of black women today have gay friends. For example, masculinity for black women, they're not really upholding that. So anytime you say something, because you got to understand something, please. A non-masculine male, is he attractive to a woman? I mean, does a woman or women, are black women actually attracted to masculine men or non-masculine men? Because every time a man does something that is not masculine in the public sphere, and even in private a lot of times, but in the public sphere, there is this outcry of support for his non-masculine activity. There was this guy, an actor, right? Man, I like him as an actor. So I was disappointed. I was disappointed. I was disappointed when I saw what he did to himself. Y'all know him? Do y'all know this guy? Lakeith Stansfield. Now, let me ask you something. I'm not saying that when a guy I'm not saying that when a guy dresses effeminate, I'm not saying he's gay or he's homosexual. That's not what I'm saying. I don't know if he's gay or homosexual. He may very well like women. Yet, though, this man is putting forth an energy through his dress of low masculinity or effeminism. Not femininity, because you can't do that, and I'll get into that in a minute. It's effeminate. Effeminate. So this guy, Lakeith Stansfield, good actor, man. Yes, he ended up dressing like that for a photo shoot. Like this. And so this guy, he comes across as a masculine guy in his roles. And he may very well be masculine, but this is low masculine, effeminate dress, and there's a behavior that comes with it. I mean, look at his mannerism. Oh, and I'm sure there's going to be some justification. Let people do what they want to do. Everybody can. I mean, we ain't talking about that. We're not talking about that. There is this thing where people just don't want to have any type of. It's like there are no lines. All the lines are blurred, and then you wonder why our world and our society and black people are going to hell, literally and figuratively. But yeah, this is him. And I think one of the biggest issues we have is institutional misinformation and ignorance. And it cements itself in our society over time. That misinformation, that institutional misinformation and ignorance is about masculinity and femininity. No one wants to say what's masculine anymore. Or there's a segment of society, even what we'll call conscious people, who talk about masculine and feminine energy. Masculine and feminine energy. One of the flaws in that, in my view, is that there are those who say that, but they want to make it seem as if black men and women can actually have the energy of the other. Yeah, I know. Like there's a masculine woman. You know, she's trying to be too masculine. What? Well, he's being feminine. No. Femininity and masculinity they are energies. Energy. The male produces the energy of masculinity. Masculine energy. The female produces feminine energy. I am a black male. I'm a male who produces masculine energy. My feminine side is the woman, because we are two halves of one whole. So the masculine belongs to the male, the feminine belongs to the female, and you can't produce, the woman cannot produce masculine energy, but she can emulate it. She can emulate masculine energy, but she can't produce it. A male can emulate feminine energy, but he can't produce it. And there is a difference, meaning you're emulating what you have come to see or know as being feminine if you are a male, and masculine if you're a female. But masculinity is produced by the male. But what has happened is we live in a world that says that that mistakes machismo and machoism as masculinity. Masculinity. Machismo and machoism. They have been mistook. They have supplanted. They have replaced what people see as masculinity. They are not. Most of us don't know what masculinity is because we have an institutional misinformation and ignorance as it concerns masculinity and femininity. It has cemented itself in our society over time. If something is not taught over time, it'll be forgotten. Over time, it could be replaced with something else. That's what masculinity and femininity is. That's what's happening to it. And over time, the definition of words, they even start changing it in dictionaries and stuff, you know. And for some words, they never really had a real definition for them because at the root of this world, masculinity had to be destroyed. Femininity too, but masculinity first. Because they had to make way for the male system. The male system of dominance is not masculinity. The male system of dominance is motivated by power, ego. And from those things comes machismo and machoism. Not masculinity, because masculinity is the fuel that propels or causes the male to desire to do his function and purpose. And three of the main characteristics of the function and purpose of a male is to produce, protect, and provide. So if you're a masculine male, you protect. If you're a masculine male, you protect. You understand? And so what I'm saying is that as a masculine and feminine, hold on a second. Hold on a second. I'm having some feedback, but let me cut that out. Okay, my apologies. So let me see. I have my response to the tweet will have been acknowledged and examined. Our fear and understanding of what masculinity as an issue. Okay, yeah. Because as masculinity is, there's a fear of it. there's a fear of masculinity and really a fear of femininity. But masculinity has to be destroyed or minimized to such a degree that it seems non-existent in order for the male system to take root, in order for it to continue its dominance. So there's a narrative to justify the goal of to destroy masculinity and femininity. And they are of the utmost significance in our understanding, thought process, and behavior towards each other. But we are at a point in our society where it's difficult for most of us to recognize it. Masculinity, femininity, they are necessary. But masculinity has been mistaken by many rather, for machismo and machoism. And many people don't even want to have that kind of definition. Because the definition that many, even a lot of conscious people, the definition that many of us have or want to believe as it concerns masculinity is still a weakened definition of it. Because the definition that if the definition of masculinity as I have put forth isn't what it is, in fact it is, but what happens is it's not going to be well received, because guess what? In order to believe that masculinity is only with the male, now they're going to have to come up with some other rationale as to why a woman acts or is how she is. Because a lot of women run around here talking about how they are masculine, and because they've had to do this, that, and the other that men do. That's all emulation. There's this thing where when you see homosexuality, it's like, yeah, well, that's his feminine side. No. When I say masculinity is just for the male and femininity is just for the female, it's like it don't cross over. Now there are a lot of things that have to be rethought, because the blurring of the definition of masculinity and femininity is done purposefully in order to make sure that there's a confirmation and a narrative and a philosophy and an idea and a belief that people can be comfortable with as it concerns masculinity and femininity, particularly as concerning a thing like homosexuality. There wouldn't be no idea of sex and gender fluidity. It just wouldn't be. Because people were like, well, if masculinity is for the male and femininity is for the female, and they can't make it fluid now. So now they have to come up with other reasons why it is happening. And I see a comment says women's rights was a mistake. Patriarchy built the Western world. No, white supremacy built the Western world. Male dominance in the form of, white supremacy in the form of male dominance built the world. It's wrong. So, I can't agree with you there. Women's rights are human rights. Women's rights are human rights. Now, this political way that women's rights has been executed, that's another story. That's another story. So, whew, all I'm going to say is what is being done to the black man, what's being done to the black man today is to emasculate him, which is to take away his power, which is to further take away his power. It's not just taking away his power, it's further taking away his power. As a woman, do you like men that wear dresses? And I'm not talking about whether they have a right to or any. It's a simple question. Do you like men who wear dresses? And who are effeminate? Going further, who are gay, homosexual? Are you attracted to them? Like this guy, Jaden Smith. Yeah. He was lauded because he wore a skirt. Is he homosexual? Maybe not. But this is effeminate. This is low masculine. How about what's this other guy? This guy right here. Kid Cudi. He came on stage in a white dress at Saturday Night Live. How about him? Is he attractive to you as a woman? I mean, I'm just wondering. There's another guy. Is this guy attractive? Is this an attractive man? Is this attractive? This doesn't give off effeminate, like I say, or gay vibes. I don't know if he's gay or if he's homosexual. I don't know. But he showed dressing like he is. Whether he is or not, I don't know. But he showed dressing like it. Now, this happened, I think it was last year or year before last, a couple of years ago, where Dion Cole came on. He was at a function and he came out like this. And he was lambasted by many who said he was gay, which I didn't agree with. I didn't agree with his outfit was retro. I don't even see effeminism here. But he has bell bottoms on, which was a 70s thing. After that, it became an issue where his 70s outfit today comes across as gay. I don't believe that he's gay. I mean, I don't know if he's gay or not, but I don't think his outfit right here is gay. I don't even think it's effeminate. I wouldn't wear it myself. It looks retro, but because there has been a supplanting of a cultural way of dress even, that looks effeminate. It looks soft for a man, for a masculine man. Like a masculine man basically wouldn't wear that. But then, a masculine man can, according to this society, he can wear what he wants. He can wear a dress and that don't make him no less than, it's like whatever. Whatever. But I'm not saying this guy is gay or whatnot. I don't know what he is. But I don't get gay from this outfit. Okay? We can get into the history of pants one day. Yeah, but not today. But are there degrees in which each may be operating within their energy at any given time based on their life circumstance? They are operating in their energy. If a male is emulating a female, then he's operating in low masculine energy. If a female is if she is emulating a male, then she's operating in low femininity. To operate in a particular way doesn't mean that she is or he is operating in that energy. I see the butch types, and I don't know if that's a slur these days, but the females who try to look like men, who are homosexual, who are gay women trying to look like men. What do they call them? Studs. They call them studs, which should be a slur as much as butch is, if that's a slur. But I see them emulating men. I see them emulating men, but I don't see them being able to produce masculinity because they can't. Because in order to produce the energy of masculinity, it has to have a corresponding function and purpose. They go together. You can't produce masculinity because your purpose and function, according to so many things, does not correspond with masculinity. Your job as a female is not to protect, produce, and provide. That's not what those characteristics belong to the male. Does it mean you cannot protect? No, it's not. It doesn't mean that. When you do protect someone or something, does that mean you're being a male? No, it doesn't. But it's not your function. You shouldn't even be in a circumstance where you have to do that. But our world is such and has been shaped as such where women are put in these positions. So no. I got a question though. Do black women, and like I said, it's not all black women, but it's enough of black women out here. It's enough to just ask it generally. Do black women even love black men? Do black women love black men? I'm sorry. I meant to put your comments up earlier. So, do black women love black men? And don't be like, you got a black wife or a black girlfriend or, and because listen, I'm not talking about from my experience. I'm talking about strictly from my observation. I mean, I have run into some black women who, yeah, I see them. I've communicated on social media with some of them. But black women have been everything for me. Everything. Black women have been everything. But I am observing something in our society, and this is the commentary that I'm giving on it. But I'm gonna leave that alone for right now. I'm gonna come back to this subject um, another time. And this is my first time back on the podcast. Admittedly, I'm a little, I feel a little out of sorts, you know, but I'm gonna, get back comfortable and not out of sorts, you know. But I want to go to something else um, where it's been in the news and on social media, and it's the transgender issue. See, if you are about accepting homosexuality, then transgenderism, as well as the resulting behavior and the resulting, I guess, things that the accommodations that are given to transgender people, you with that too. You can be like, no, I'm not with this, but I'm with that. No, they go together. Did y'all see this? 2 inmates at All Women's New Jersey prison are pregnant after both had sex with the same transgender inmate after local ACLU Chapter 1 battle to house trans inmates in women's prisons. Goodness. Yeah. That what it did? Yep. Yep. I mean, it's almost, it's like we have been indoctrinated in such a way, socialized in such a way, to accept almost any rationale that don't make sense. This is a transgender male. This is a man who now identifies as a female, as a woman, because he can't be a female, as a woman, and they put him in prison with women. Man, there's going to be an explosion of transgender men in jail. So they can go over to yeah. He got 2 women pregnant, though. The pregnant women are housed at the embattled Etna Mahan Correctional Facility in Clinton, which New Jersey governor announced plans to close. It is unclear if the women had sex with the same transgender woman. Still call them a woman now. Edna Mahan houses 27 transgender prisoners and over 800 cisgender women. Cisgender. That means natural born women. That's what it means. Cisgender is natural born. Yeah. In recent years, Edna Mahan has grappled with reports of widespread abuses and systemic failures. 10 prison guards face criminal charges stemming from an alleged assault on inmates, including a transgender woman, in January 2020. Yeah. Man. I'm going to go back to comment left by Dawn. Hey, Dawn. Can we love and fear you at the same time? That creates internal conflict. It depends. It depends. It depends on the origin or the root of the fear. I think that fear, fear is a construct. But what is the foundation of the construct in the individual? So, yes, it's possible, but it depends on the origin of the fear. Like, what's the root of the fear? If you fear black men and you fear that he will kill you, and that fear is rooted in trauma, there's a rationalization that begins to happen within the brain and within society that basically comes down to seeing black men a certain way. So it becomes difficult to see him as naturally violent, naturally prone to abuse, naturally someone who is irresponsible. He's just made like that. It's difficult to see him like that unconsciously and then love him too. It's like when black women a lot of times like to say, well, we've been with black men and we stand up for black. Listen, you've been with black men, but where else you were gonna go? Where were you gonna go? What we don't understand is that we really stuck with each other. But we're going to have to learn what it is we need to do to get on the healing journey. Just want to answer that question, but I definitely got to continue with the transgender thing, because transgender now, that was another transgender situation that ended up happening. In fact, check this out right here.
Okay, say LeBron James changed his gender. You know what I mean? Okay, can he stay in the NBA, or because points a game?
Hold on, let's start over.
What does it actually mean to be equal? You know what I mean? Okay, say LeBron James changed his gender. You know what I mean? Okay, can he stay in the NBA, or because he's a woman, does he have to go to the WNBA, where he will score 840 points a game? What does it actually mean to be equal? You know what I mean? Like, women are actually equal to men, then there would be no WNBA, would there? You would just be good enough to play in the NBA with us. Or, here's another idea that's going to be very controversial. You could shut the fuck up.
So we have this person, transgender male, who goes by the name now of Leah Thomas. And you had a reporter at NBC News say, I'm going to have to wrap this up in a few minutes. This live didn't go exactly as I wanted it to go, but it's going to get better. It's going to get better. This transgender person became number 1 in women's swimming. And there's this reporter, Cheryl Kooky, who made this quote on her report. Anyone who cares about the advancement of sports and women's sports in particular should celebrate Leah Thompson's win. Headline, opinion. We should be celebrating Leah Thompson like we did Jackie Robinson. Man, listen. Y'all know that don't make no sense. Y'all know that don't make no sense. Come on now. Jackie Robinson. One of the issues that I have is that trying to put the LGBTQ issue up as equal to that of black people in our issue, in our fight for justice. Okay, they fighting for some justice, but they ain't nothing like us. I talked about this on a whole video. Anyway, I'm gonna end this live. And like I said, I'm just getting back. I'm trying to get my feet wet, and I will be back every Sunday live on YouTube at 7:30 p.m. And I will be better because I really don't feel as if I was as good as expressing the information that I like to express today. But we're going to get to it, okay? I'd like to thank you for joining us. I'd like to thank you for tuning in, those that did. Hopefully next time you can comment and we can put your comments up. We can talk, we can have a dialogue. My website is alacenaworldmedia.com. It is being updated. Someone did my website and they did a nice job, but there's some things that I wanted different on there. So we're going to be having that continue to happen. So there will be continuous updates as it concerns my website. You can go to Son of Man, Son, S-U-N, of Man on Instagram, and Antonio Alacena on Twitter, and Alacena World Media on TikTok. Yeah, I'm trying to do a little TikTok now. So I'd like to thank you for joining me, and hopefully we'll see you next Sunday. And even between then, I'm gonna come on live, I think, on Wednesday, and hopefully you'll join me then. I'll talk more about masculinity and femininity in black men and women in our relationship issues. But we're going to talk about roles, what people call roles. We're going to talk about tradition. We're going to talk about some of the things that can hopefully make us better. And hopefully you'll join me. All right. So God willing, I'll see you then. And like I said, it'll be better next time. I appreciate you coming. Thank you. Peace and hair grease.